Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see here, I'm doing this comparison video between the Derwent Lightfast and the Caran Luminance. Now that's perhaps, within the colour pencil artist world, is perhaps one of the most asked questions at the minute. Which one of these pencils are better than the other? Now I'm going to do various tests here in this video, but before I do so, I just want to make a few things clear along the way. I've been asked a lot of times, do I work for various companies? And let me just say, clear this up right now. I do not work for any companies. I am unable to work because of the fact that I'm unreliable, medication, pain, my disability, all those different things factored into it, okay? But if I was able to work and I was offered a job with Caran or Derwent, I would take it in a heartbeat. But if I did that, I wouldn't be able to make reviews, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If I was working for Caran, I would obviously make videos about Caran products, but I wouldn't be able to then go on and start doing reviews for their competitors. I just couldn't do it. I know for a fact I couldn't do it for two different reasons. There would obviously be a certain amount of bias there towards the company that I'm working for, and obviously there'd be a fear factor as well of me saying something wrong on a video and losing my job with the company. So that's all the different reasons why that question, I think, is a redundant question that I keep getting asked if I work for Derwent or work for whoever. Also, the tests that I'm going to do here now for you with regards to these two pencils. Now, I get asked, when I do my review videos, I purposely do not mention other companies' names. And the reason I do not do that is because if I'm doing a video, say on the Kohinoor woodless pencils, and Kohinoor see that review and they like it, they're more inclined to share that on their channel and their social media if I'm just talking about that pencil. Once I start introducing other companies, other pencils, other brands and all the rest of it, they are less likely to share, even if it's incredibly favourable towards that company, towards Kohinoor. They're still less likely to share that video. And obviously if a big company shares a video that I do, then that's beneficial for the Art Gear Guide. It helps promote the Art Gear Guide, that type of thing. And so that's the reason why when I'm doing my review videos, I never mention other companies. I have always said, however, that I would do these comparison videos. But the reason why it's taken me so long in getting around to doing it is because I've only done one comparison video, and that was the white colour pencils. And I got a few people turning around and saying, well, you know, that was an unfair test because you clearly put more pressure on the on a particular white pencil over another white pencil. And, you know, subconsciously they may be right. Consciously, I definitely didn't do that. Nevertheless, I have not been able to come up with a scientific way of me testing these pencils, comparing them to each other without there being a little bit more pressure over one. In order to do that, I would need to have a machine that holds the pencils at exactly the same angle, exactly the same height off the paper, drops it onto the paper with exactly the same pressure on all papers. It would all have to be computerized, and that type of stuff, that type of equipment costs thousands of pounds, which I just don't have. And even if I did have, my wife definitely wouldn't allow me to buy something like that in order to do comparison videos here on YouTube. So I've tried to come up with the best solution I can. I'll be providing some stats. I'll be doing some tests here, as you can see here on this chart, and it's really up to you how you want to take this comparison video. If you think I'm lying, if you think I'm trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, all over a couple of pencils, then be my guest. If that's what you think, then it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I have nothing to gain by being more favourable over one pencil to another. I have nothing to gain from it. Also, since I put out my review video of the Derwent Lightfast, I've heard some people or read some comments saying, "Oh, well, does this mean that this is the end of the Caran Luminance, or will the Lightfast knock the Luminance off the kind of like the top of the pile chart?" And I really don't think that. I think that's a bit of a crazy question, and I'll tell you why. Both these pencils are hugely important to colour pencil artists for all manner of reasons. Their quality, and obviously the Lightfast being a huge part of that, because obviously it allows colour pencil artists to sell their work, to hang them in museums and galleries and stuff like that under harsh environments, in terms of lighting, that type of thing. Harsh environments for the pigments, I mean, not for obviously people. But it opens up a big... once you are starting to talk about Lightfast pigments and stuff like that, it obviously opens up a whole different world for colour pencil artists. And from what I can gather, because I am relatively new to the colour pencil world, but from what I can gather, it's been a very difficult battle for coloured pencil artists to break into that kind of like art world where people are hanging oil paintings and watercolours and all the rest of it. And only recently, have colour pencil artists now started to be recognised in some of the bigger art competitions, that type of thing. And that's fantastic, because when you look at some of the work that colour pencil artists are providing, it's just phenomenal. Right, okay, so I want to get on with this test, because this is going to be a long video, and I really apologise for it, but there's just no other way of me going to be able to do this for you. I have a lot of different things that I want to test, want to go over with you and that type of thing, so I'll do that now. I'll get on with that now. Okay, so we're not going to talk too much about the actual palettes of both of these sets, because Derwent haven't released their full 72 colours yet. They will be doing so throughout 2019, and once that is available, then we will go through all the different things and palettes and what have you. But for now, so the way I have this laid out here at the minute is I've got the Caran Luminance pencils here over on the left as you're looking at the camera, and the Derwent Lightfast over here on the right. And when I get on to doing these tests here, I will explain and I will zoom in so you can see as well. But for now, I'm just going to go through some basic stats. So the sets that are available for the Caran Luminance, we have a 12 set, 20 set, 40 set and a 76 set. But don't forget, that 76 set isn't 76 individual pigments. There's 2 blenders in there. I think there's 2 whites, and there might be something else in there as well. The sets that are available currently for the Derwent Lightfast is a set a 12, 24 and 36, but they do intend to release a 72 set. That is on the cards, and that will be happening in and around sometime in 2019. Okay, so now we're going to talk about prices. I'm going to give you the recommended retail price. Okay, so this is the prices that if you go to the websites of either of these companies, this is what you will pay for the sets. I can't give you Amazon prices or anything like that, because obviously they will be cheaper whenever people start getting hold of these and bringing them into their shops and selling them via Amazon. And the reason why I can't give you those just yet is because the Derwent Lightfast pencils are available to purchase here in the UK from the 2nd of July onwards, but you can order them now on derwentart.com, I think it is. I'll have a link for that down below. I have it over on my review of it as well, of all the release dates for, you know, America, things like that. So if you want to go and see that, you can do. I'll put a link down below to the review. So anyway, we'll get on with the recommended retail prices here. So for a set of 12 Caran Luminance, it's £39. For the 20 set, it's £65. For the 40 set, it's £129. And for the 76 set, it's £269. Now, for the 12 set of the Derwent Lightfast, it's £34. For the 24 set, it's £69. And for the 36 set, it's £109. Okay, so when you compare then the Caran Luminance 12 set, because that's the only set that both pencils have that is identical, The Caran Luminance is £39 for 12 pencils, and the Derwent Lightfast is £34 for 12 pencils. Now, I will get on to the Lightfast issue of all these sets in a second. Both sets are sold open stock. The Derwent Lightfast pencil individually is £3.20. Again, don't forget these are recommended retail prices. These are the prices that you will be charged if you go to the websites of either of these companies, and £2.99 for the Caran Luminance. Now, people will say, oh, well, the Caran Luminance is £2.99, it's a cheaper pencil, so it's a better pencil. Well, hang on a second. The core size of the Derwent Lightfast is 4mm, and the core size of the Caran Luminance is 3.8mm. Now, you might think 0.2 of a millimeter isn't really that big of a deal. Well, it is a big deal. When you're paying a lot of money on pencils or anything, even that 0.2mm extra of a diameter is still going to be a significant amount of pigment when it comes down to when you're talking about pencils. So it may be the Luminance may be a little bit cheaper, but you have to take all these different things into consideration whenever you're going to go out and buy them. Now, with regards to the light fastness, okay, so with the 3 sets that are available for the Derwent Lightfast, every set, the 12, 24 and 36 sets are 100% Lightfast. The Caran sets, the 12 set is 100% Lightfast, the 20 set is 100% Lightfast, the 40 set is 85% Lightfast, and the 76 set is 80% Lightfast. So you can see there that with the 40 set and the 76 set, you're going to get a few pencils in there that are LF1, which is the standard that the Luminance pencils are tested under, which is the ASTM D6901. I've got a little bit of information about that over on the Art Gear Guide on the review of the Derwent Lightfast, so you can go across and read that as well. Now, another little thing. The Caran Luminance are only tested under the scale that I've just said to you there, the ASTM D6901. The Derwent Lightfast are tested under both conditions, the ASTM and the blue wool. Now, some people, some artists consider the blue wool scale to be more detailed in terms of being able to produce a scale, that type of thing. I'm not too sure on that. I'm still working on a video that I'm doing about Lightfast and the two systems that are in place for measuring light fastness of pigments. But it is worth bearing in mind that some artists do think that the blue wool scale is slightly more detailed, more accurate scale than the ASTM. Nevertheless, both of them are huge standards within the art community, and to have these standards on both these pencils is a huge thing in any case, regardless. But it is worth mentioning that the Luminance are only have passed one. I'm sure, I'm not saying that it wouldn't pass the blue wool scale, because obviously it more than likely would, but Derwent have obviously done both scales. And then finally, obviously the Derwent Lightfast pencil is an oil-based pencil, and the Caran Luminance is a wax. I wouldn't get too bogged down with oil and wax and all the rest of it, because all pigments have got secret ingredients in them, depending on the company that you're buying it from. Some of them have oils and some of them don't. There's all sorts of different types of waxes that are used as well, some harder, some softer. A lot of people thought that the Pro Color was an oil-based pencil because of how hard that was, but it was because of the wax, the particular wax that was used in making that pencil. I seen a comment on my Derwent Lightfast video the other day saying somebody was absolutely convinced that the Pro Color was an oil-based because it worked with the brush and pencil kit that Aliona Nicholson does. But and that it may well do. I couldn't tell you one way or the other whether it does work on that. But just because it works, it doesn't mean to say that it is 100% an oil-based pencil. It just means that it's a harder pencil. And obviously, like I say, a different wax is being used in that. Okay, so let's get on with it. Now, there are certain pigments here that are not exactly the same, but there's close to it. The ones that are exactly the same in terms of their names, I will be adding here on this chart. So let me zoom in a little bit here for you. Okay, so as you can see here, I will be doing a light, medium and heavy application of the Scarlet, Yellow, Violet and Black. The reasons why I'm doing those ones is because on the Luminance and the Derwent Lightfast, that's exactly what they're called. They're not any different names or anything like that. For example, this dark green that I have here with the Luminance is a dark sap green. And the green that I've chose from the Derwent Lightfast range is racing green. They're very close, but they're not exact. So I haven't included those in this test. I'll probably speed it up a little bit, but I know some people think that I'm creating magic tricks or something like that when I'm doing this. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this slow. This is why it's going to be a long video. Okay, so I'll get the Luminance first. When I'm doing the light application, I'm going to hold the pencil as far back as I can. When I'm doing the medium, I'm going to hold it halfway down. And then when I'm doing the heavy, I'm going to hold it as if I'm doing detail. And all I'm going to do is I'm not going to fill the whole square, but I'm just going to go backward and forward as if like I'm just laying down my first light layer. So there you can see the this is the Luminance Scarlet. Now I'm going to do the medium pressure. And now I'm going to do the heavy pressure. Okay, now I'm going to go and get the Derwent Lightfast Scarlet and do exactly the same there. I will try the medium. And now I will do the heavy. Okay, so straight away when I'm doing that, the Derwent Lightfast feels, and it only feels softer. That doesn't mean to say that it's better or anything like that. It will feel different because one's wax and one's oil. But let me just zoom in here a little bit for you. Okay, so that's the Derwent Lightfast. Or sorry, the Caran Luminance. Sorry, this one here that I'm showing you is the Caran Luminance. And then this one over here is the Derwent Lightfast. Okay, so let me zoom out and I'll do I'll carry on with this yellow. Now I go over to the Derwent Lightfast yellow. Okay, so now we're going to do the violet here for the luminance. Now I'll do the violet on the Derwent Lightfast. And now finally the black. Now when I was doing the review for the Derwent Lightfast black, I thought that the Derwent Lightfast black was beautiful. Really deep and dark and rich. Okay, now we're on to the Derwent Lightfast black. Sorry about that, guys. I had to stand up and take a break because of my back. So now I'm going on to the heavy pressure here for the Derwent Lightfast. Okay, so I'm going to show you these this test now, close up, and you can see here that the light applications, both these pencils are dropping off a beautiful rich pigment. I would say out of this particular test here that the Scarlet on the Luminance is definitely richer than the Scarlet on the Derwent Lightfast. I would say perhaps maybe that the yellow is as well for the Luminance. And then for the violet, I would definitely say the violet on the Derwent Lightfast is definitely richer. And I still maintain that the Derwent Lightfast black is it's darker than the Caran Luminance one. Okay, so the next test I'm going to show you is, let me just move my camera here a second. I'm going to come back up to this dry blending and odorless mineral spirits blending in a second, but I'm going to do these eraser tests first of all. So I have 3 different erasers that I'm going to use. I've got the let me just move that. I've got the Tombow Mono eraser, I've got the Derwent battery eraser, and I've got a Koh-i-Noor pencil eraser, which is absolutely fantastic. I know that the 2 blues here aren't exactly the same color and stuff like that, but that's it doesn't really matter. What we're doing here is we're testing a wax-based pencil over an oil-based pencil. We're not really testing the pigment strength or ability or anything like that. We're just testing how well it's going to erase. So like I say, what I'm using here is this Koh-i-Noor pencil eraser. This is probably one of the best pencil erasers I've ever used. The Derwent battery eraser, I'm going to be putting in a new eraser onto this as well, so that nobody can think that I'm, I don't know, putting dynamite in there or something. Okay, and then the Tombow mono eraser. So we'll do the Tombow mono eraser first, and we'll start with the Caran Luminance. There you go. Okay. Now I'm going to use the Derwent battery eraser. And then do it over here. And the we're going to use this Koh-i-Noor pencil eraser. Okay, so this isn't really a comparison on these three tests here, because a wax-based pencil and an oil-based pencil, both those pencils are going to erase differently. Obviously, wax is, you know, it's much stickier and stuff like that, so it's not going to come off as easy as an oil-based pencil does. But all I'm doing is I'm just showing you what these pigments are like once they're erased, because I didn't do it on my other one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of blending. Now the only colours that I can do this with, because I don't have I don't really have the right blue in the Derwent Lightfast to make a green with the yellow. So all I'm going to do is use the yellow and the Scarlet. So I'm going to use the yellow and Scarlet of the Caran Luminance. I'm going to start on all of them with the yellow base and then put the Scarlet on top, okay? By the way, I have circles done there, but I'm not like doing a circle trying to make it look like a sphere or anything like that. It's just so that I can keep in the lines and just keep it neat and tidy. At the end of the day here, all this test is just to show you two pigments, how well they blend together on it, like doing it dry and also then doing it using odorless mineral spirits. Okay, so there on that one, I done about 3 or 4 layers of each, and they were kind of like medium pressure layers. And what we're going to do now here is the Derwent Lightfast. Okay, so with both those tests, when I was doing it, the final yellow layer that I put down on top of them, I both put like I put a really heavy application down on them. Okay, so now we're going to do some odorless minerals on this. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing some light layers here because obviously the odorless mineral spirits is going to do the actual blending. I forgot to mention the paper that I'm using for this. I was going to use some Derwent watercolor paper, but then I thought, no, people will think that that there's some sort of trick in that paper that it's making the Lightfast pencils better. So I'm just using some Bristol Vellum by Strathmore. It's a 400 series. I'm putting about 5 or 6 layers on here because this is typically you would normally put about 5 or 6 layers down before you start using odorless mineral spirits. You need to have plenty of layers down. A lot of people, when they're using odorless mineral spirits, they'll put maybe 1 or 2 layers down and wonder why they don't get that kind of painterly effect that you can get using odorless mineral spirits, and that's why you need to have a relatively decent application of pigment on the paper before it's going to start blending. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a second. Now I'm going to do the Derwent Lightfast again, just exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to do some odorless mineral spirits now. Okay, so all I'm going to do is, I've got some Zest. I'm just going to put it into a little ramekin here, just a little bit. Far too much. A little paper towel just to blot off the excess. Okay, so I'm going to do the Luminance first. You can see there the Luminance reacts really well to odorless mineral spirits. I will zoom in a second, you can see it. You'll have to bear with me here, guys. I'm absolutely in agony having to bend over here for this. Okay, so now I'm going to do the Derwent Lightfast. Okay, so there you go. I'll just zoom in for you. Okay, so the top one there you can see is the dry blending by the Caran Luminance, and then as we move over here, this is the dry blending by the Derwent Lightfast. I will have some images popping up as well that you can see. Okay, so then we go down here to the odorless mineral spirits blending. You can see here this is the Caran Luminance. It reacted really well. And then we move across here, and this is the Derwent Lightfast with the odorless mineral spirits, and again, you know, it reacted really well as also. You can see there that both tests have produced a beautiful orange, in my opinion. Really pleased with the results on both of those. Okay, so I've just a couple more tests to do, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, so I'm just going to move this one out of the way. I'll have this up over in the Art Gear Guide. You can go across and see this chart. I'll have it photographed and up so you can go across, take a better look at it. Just let me move it out of the way for now. I've got some black paper here, and I'm going to do some tests with the Caran Luminance white and the Derwent Lightfast white. Sorry guys, I should have had this prepared first. But it was kind of like a last minute idea. Okay, so as you can see, again, I've kept the Luminance on the left hand side and the Derwent Lightfast on the right hand side. So we'll start with the Caran Luminance. I'm just going to put a heavy application down on these, okay? And then we're going to do the Derwent Lightfast over on the other side. So you can see there that there was a little bit of crumbling from both those pencils. Nothing drastic like, but just a little bit. So I've shown you now the black and the white of both pencils, and I would say that they're both incredibly similar. The black just tips it on the Derwent Lightfast for me, and I'm really undecided about the white. I think they're both very, very similar indeed. Okay, and so one final test that I'm going to do here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Derwent Scarlet. So I've got the Derwent Scarlet here, and I'm going to take the Caran Luminance Yellow, and I'm going to blend both these pencils together. Taking a little bit of red off it there. So I'm just going to dry blend these because we know how they react with odorless mineral spirits. They both blend well together. So I'm just going to show you what both the Luminance and the Lightfast together react like. Okay, so there you go. There's a little bit of blending there from the Derwent Lightfast and the Caran Luminance together. Just let me zoom in here a little bit for you. Okay, so you can see there, both those pigments reacted really, really well together. Okay, guys, so that's kind of my comparison here of the Derwent Lightfast against the Caran Luminance. I know some of you are going to say to me, so which pencil did I prefer? And I'm not really going to say that because that's down to you to determine which pencil you think is the best. The best pencil for me may not be the best pencil for you. There's so many different factors that come into whether a pencil is the best for you or not. One thing that I have learned through my time of doing these reviews is that I genuinely think that there's no such thing as a bad pencil. I think that when you have the right pencil on the right paper doing the right type of art, in other words, landscape, portraiture, that type of thing, the pencil that you're using will work well and you will get beautiful results. But there's lots of different things that come into that equation to get that type of result, and just the pencil is not having the best pencil is just not going to get you that result. There, like I say, there's different things come into that equation. I definitely do not think that the Derwent Lightfast is going to knock off Caran Luminance or anything like that. I think that as an artist, as a colour pencil artist, to have the Caran Luminance set and the Derwent Lightfast set both together in your arsenal, so to speak, whenever you're doing a commission for somebody, it's just going to be phenomenal. Don't forget, there will, I'm sure, whenever Derwent finally release their full 72 set, I am sure, in fact I know that there's going to be duplicate pigments in both sets, but there will also be certain pigments that are available in one that you can't get in the other, and so therefore having both sets, or even just going out, you know, having one set and getting the open stock versions of the pigments that you can't get from the other set, it's only going to create a wonderful palette for you. And not only is it going to create a wonderful palette, but it's also going to create an incredibly resistant palette for years to come, which is obviously going to allow you as a colour pencil artist the ability to put a bigger price tag on your art. But again, there's lots of different factors that come into play whenever you're coming down to price and art, and I'm definitely not going to get into that thing because I don't sell any of my art. I'm not an expert in that field whatsoever. Anyway guys, this is my comparison test of the Derwent Lightfast against the Caran Luminance. I do not think that there is a best pencil. I just think that each pencil has its own merits and works well at whatever art you are trying to accomplish with it. I do think, however, that both pencils work incredibly well together, the Derwent Lightfast and the Caran Luminance. As you've seen there when I was doing the blending of both pencils, there was no issues whatsoever. And I'm sure people are going to say you just cannot mix a wax with an oil-based pencil, but I've just shown you there. The only time that it might have a little bit of an issue is perhaps maybe if you're adding in odorless mineral spirits, perhaps, but that's something that you'll have to test yourself. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all the wonderful support that you have given me, guys. I really do. I just don't know what to say. I've been receiving so many donations from people as well, which has helped me so much in terms of making sure that I've got plenty of products to review. You've seen the video that I did with the setup with all the different things that I have coming up for review for you. So thank you so much for all your donations. I really appreciate it. And also don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those other things, social networking sites. The links for those will all be down below. If you go across to the Art Gear Guide as well, the links are always available for Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. They're just the best places if I have a new video coming out, or if I've got an art piece that I'm doing and I put up a work in progress thing. Instagram is the best place for that. Facebook and Twitter to get notifications as and when new reviews come out, or now new comparison videos, because I will be doing a lot more of these comparison videos. So if you've got any particular pencils that you would like me to compare, put it down below in the description or in the comments section, and I'll definitely add it into my list and get round to doing it sometimes. Alright guys, thanks very much. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.